Hey all, Chris Bassett here, and I'm doing a solo guide for Chamber of Starlight, the Legend Lost sector. I'll be playing on my Hunter. Let's get into it. Chamber of Starlight is found in the Dreaming City. It's in the middle of the map, and it's in a pretty tricky location, so watch the sparrow as we jump off the cliff. If you are having trouble finding it, there are a few stipulations to keep in mind. You have to be a high enough light level, you have to have completed the Lost Sector at least once on normal difficulty, and it has to be the Lost Sector's turn in the rotation. I'll put a link in the description for the Lost Sector orders. So we're dealing with Unstoppable and Overload champions. That gives us 4 weapons to choose from: assault rifles, submachine guns, hand cannons, and pulse rifles. I'll be running an auto rifle, the Scathelocke, with Osmosis. Osmosis is nice because I'm using a Void subclass, and when I throw a grenade, it'll change this weapon to void damage. There are quite a few void shielded enemies, so if you had to choose between solar or void, definitely go void. There's only 2 knights with solar shields, but there's probably a dozen taken with void shields. I'm running the Ogma Solar Pulse Rifle and then Sleeper Simulant because it's solar burn. I'm running linear fusion mods to support my Sleeper Simulant, as well as a charged with light build. That way when I become charged with light, I'm doing 20% extra weapon damage. If you didn't already know, Ada 1 at the tower sells these mods and they rotate daily. So for my Hunter, I do like the Nightstalker subclass. It has the most survivability. Mobius Quiver does a ton of damage. For my dodge, I like Marksman's Dodge. That way I can dodge, reload, triple jump, snare bomb, and then Vortex Grenade is my favorite grenade. Stylish Executioner, and then Vanishing Step, help with invisibility. Echo of Remnants makes your grenades last longer. Undermining makes it so it weakens your enemies. Instability, that way when I throw my grenade for the Osmosis Scathelocke, it'll also change that weapon to void, but then it will make my rounds volatile so things will explode. And then when things explode, I also turn invisible. So we'll go ahead and head over to the Legend Lost sector, and on the way over, I'll go over some weapon recommendations. With it being solar burn, can't go wrong with Gallahorn. It's definitely a hard-hitting rocket launcher, and it packs 2 in the magazine. It comes from the 30th anniversary DLC. The Crate is a good auto rifle, and the Syncopation 53 is a good pulse rifle. Gunsmith sells both of these. They're also drops. The Monte Carlo is a fun, exotic auto rifle that helps recharge your melee, and you can pair that with the Ascendancy, which is last season's rocket launcher. The perk Explosive Light increases the projectile's blast radius and damage when you pick up orbs of power. If you're looking to run hand cannons, the Palindrome and the Bottom Dollar are both good options. Palindrome drops from the Nightfall, and Bottom Dollar drops from Gambit. With it being solar burn, Sunshot's also a great hand cannon option. Okay, so we're getting close to the Lost Sector. It's kind of difficult to find as you have to drop off the cliff here. So if you know you're getting close when you see that place up there. So you want to jump down, and you'll see the Lost Sector symbol on the wall right there, and that's how you know you've gotten close. If this is your first time doing it, just head down the path and complete it once on normal, and then you'll have the access to the legend version. Alrighty, let's go ahead and fire it up. Alright, so first up, there's an Unstoppable champion and then a Hobgoblin up on the ledge. Just tuck back behind the wall and deal with the Unstoppable champion, and the Hobgoblin won't one-shot you. So we're going to stun him with our weapon and then take him down with heavy shots. You could just deal with him with your primary because he won't chase you as long as you don't push up. The next area has a ton of void shields, so I'm going to try to hit him with that grenade, and that actually turns my auto rifle into a void weapon. As you can see the shield, I kind of melt that. And then over to the left, there's a ton of void shielded enemies. So now that the auto rifle is dealing void damage, we can just melt through those shields. So be mindful, there is a knight in the back that has a solar shield, and he'll spit or vomit that solar energy all over the ground. Acolytes also spawn in that eye that does the eye blast. It's arc damage, I believe, so it's not bad to deal with. Just keep in mind, if you do switch your weapon, you'll lose that void damage on your auto rifle. So I continue to fire until all the void shielded enemies are gone. However, if you do have a void damaged weapon, then don't worry about it. If you just take your time and hang back, the enemies aren't too tough. And then when you are ready to push up, use this rock in the center of the room for cover. If you are playing with a void submachine gun, like the funnel web, for example, you will have to be a little more aggressive to get in close. Funnel web's not very good at a distance. Hard light is an exotic auto rifle that would also be a good option here, as you can switch between all three elements. Because your equipment's locked, you're pretty limited to swapping weapons. And so hard light would allow you to deal with both the void shields and the solar shields. And since I am running a solar pulse, I'll just burst him down with the pulse rifle. You could hit him with your heavy weapon if you had a solar heavy weapon. That's crazy. Sleeper did 136,000. Alright, so this next room will be the final room that you encounter enemies in. They come in waves depending on when you beat the champions. So you're going to deal with a lot of thrall. So there's your first champion. If you do damage him, he'll chase you. So if you just let him go, he'll actually walk around the wall, and then you can fight him from cover. You can still kill him if he does come running at you. You just have to do it quick with like a rocket launcher or something. So yeah, here you're just dealing with all the thrall that come running. There'll be a ton of them, and if you did equip like a finder brick mod, the thrall are really good because they have the potential to drop a ton of heavy ammo bricks. Then you can speed through the rest of your run. Alright, so over here to the left, there's a solar shielded knight, and then over to the right is the champion and then the wizard boss. Trying to get a look at him. Can't see them just yet, but they're over there. And then over to the left in the far back of the arena, up on a shelf of rocks, there'll be acolytes that can snipe you. So you want to make sure that you're mindful of those guys, kill those guys. And then after you kill the final champion, there'll be one more that spawns on top of that, back in the back there. And he's particularly nasty to deal with because he has like tracking shots. So one thing to watch out for is the Taken will shoot that eye beam at the knight and make him invulnerable. So take out all the ads surrounding him, and then he's solar shield, so you could use a heavy weapon, or I'm just going to use my primary. Or not. There we go. I use a sleeper to kill him. And then deal with those couple of guys in the back there. Once everything's dead on this side, you want to focus your attention to the other side. This would be the time that you make sure your grenade's ready. That way you can charge up your auto rifle with void damage. Or if you have a void damage weapon, you're already ready to go. So a lot of those guys are void shielded. So throw a grenade, trigger the void damage, and then I can start picking them off. Just be mindful, there's quite a few enemies over there. There's probably between 12 and 15. The champions over there as well. And then a lot of them like to hide by the pillars and behind that rock. And they can be pretty deadly, so just, this place is a decent place to shoot from. Also, there's like a little head glitch to the left of the rock over here. And then if you really wanted to get creative, like you could climb up on top of the rock just to the right, and they reduce damage from up there. You're a little more exposed up there, though. So I did make the mistake of swapping my weapons, and then I lost that void damage on my auto rifle. So I'm going to take the champion out, and that'll spawn in the next wave of ads. You'll have enemies spawn in behind you, and then over to the left again, and then also the overload will be on top of that same platform that the other guys were. So if you need to, you can pull all the way back, and you'll be safe down here, and then just slowly kill stuff and then work your way forward. If one of the modifiers did have increased melee damage, I'd recommend throwing a melee damage resist mod into your chest armor, since all these thrall do melee attacks. This pulse rifle's pretty fun as it has Dragonfly with Dragonfly Spec modded in, so it does a solar explosion when I get headshots. So there's a champion on the other side of the wall we'll deal with, and then the boss is also there. Feel free to super the boss, and then if you wanted, once the boss is dead, you can just collect the chest. However, if you want to kill the final champion on top of the ledge, that'll give you the best rewards, or the best chance at rewards, I should say. But the guy up on the ledge can be really difficult to stun, so he stuns best with a hand cannon. If you are running an auto rifle, good luck stunning him, because he shoots out tracking blasts that kill you in like 3 hits. What's nice about the hand cannon is you can aim down sight, load the shot, and then just shoot the champion once to stun them. Whereas auto rifles need continuous fire in order to stun. So since we're dealing with void shields over here, use your void weapon if possible. And then the boss also has a void shield. With it being solar burn, be cautious of the boss's attacks. They're solar ranged attacks, and they can be pretty damaging. So you're fairly safe in this spot. Use it as a head glitch, and then just pick off all the void shielded enemies. Once you deal enough damage to the boss, she'll move down close to the end of the arena and kind of float in the middle where that second knight was at. There is still a champion hiding over here, so we'll deal with him. He's unstoppable, so we'll just stun him, pulse, hand cannon, whatever you've got, and then give him a heavy shot to the face. And as long as you're playing the cover around the arena, you should be pretty safe. I recently got the masterwork on my sleeper simulant. When you do get the masterwork, you get increased ammo reserves and it speeds up your weapon charge so it fires faster. If you're feeling pretty confident, a solar sword might be a pretty fun option. I mean, you probably die to stuff, but if you could stun the champion and then run up and smack him with the sword, you'd take him out pretty quick. There's a Lament build with a Hunter stasis class. It's pretty crazy. Okay, so I saw the boss repositioned to the center of the arena, so I'm just going to move around and take some cover behind these rocks. I think I do decide to just super her and be done with it. So yeah, with the double tether, game over. If you're running Warlock, obviously Nova Bomb or Titan, you could go and you could just whack her with the shield. So now that she's dead, we'll clean up the rest of the ads, and then we only have one last champion on top of that shelf up there. Like I was talking about before, he's pretty difficult to deal with. He shoots like tracking revenge orbs, so like every time you shoot him, he shoots a revenge blast. And with auto rifles requiring continuous fire to stun, it's really tough to stun him. So a hand cannon would work really great here. Just aim down sight, load the unstoppable shot, pop him once, and then you could deal extra damage. So I'm going to bypass that and just shoot him, do 2 shots with the sleeper and kill him. And then since everything's dead in the dungeon, I got max chance at rewards. So we'll go check out the chest and see what I got. So yeah, like I said before, you don't necessarily need to kill that champion, but it does give you the best chance. And Bupkis, I got nothing, nada, zilch. Hey, check out this other video right here. There's links in the description to save some money, so check those out. If you have any questions, put them down in the comments. If this was helpful, hit the like button. Thanks.